It's the greatest gift from Allah to be in the last prophet. Summa salatullah wa salamullah ala al-hadi ya Rasulillah. It's the greatest gift from Allah to be in the last prophet. Summa salatullah wa
قَدْ أَفْلَحَ مَنْ زَكَّاهَا. That successful indeed is the one who purifies this nafs.
You have fear for Allah, but you also fear other people? No. وَلَا يَخْشَوْنَ أَحَدًا. Don't fear anybody else illallah, except Allah.
Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He's telling us good words are better. Good words, words of advice, is better than the one who gives charity but followed by reproach.
So there are different levels of tests, and Allah decides who He's going to test. The first level of testing, of course, is with our own life.
esteemed by his companions that Allah had mentioned their noble description in the Holy Quran.
Alhamdulillah, أضعف ما حمده جميع خلقه كما يحبه ويرضاه. سبحان الله وبحمده سبحان الله العظيم. سبحان الله العظيم وبحمده. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. اللهم بارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد عدد ما في علم الله صلاة دائمة بدوام ملك الله. نشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له، ونشهد أن سيدنا ونبينا ومولانا محمدا عبده ورسوله أرسله بالحق بشيرا ونذيرا وداعيا إلى الله بإذنه وسراجا منيرا. صلى الله تعالى عليه وعلى آله وصحبه وبارك وسلم تسليما كثيرا كثيرا. سبحانك لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا إنك أنت العليم الحكيم. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي. ربنا يسر ولا تعسر وتمم بالخير وبك نستعين يا فتاح. اللهم اجعلنا دعاة إليك وإلى رسولك. اللهم فقهنا في الدين وعلمنا القرآن الحكيم. ربي زدني علما. ربنا زدنا علما. أما بعد، فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. الله لا إله إلا هو الحي القيوم لا تأخذه سنة ولا نوم له ما في السماوات وما في الأرض. من ذا الذي يشفع عنده إلا بإذنه يعلم ما بين أيديهم وما خلفهم ولا يحيطون بشيء من علمه إلا بما شاء. وسع كرسيه السماوات والأرض ولا يؤوده حفظهما وهو العلي العظيم. وعن أبي موسى الأشعري رضي الله تعالى عنه قال: قام فينا رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم بخمس كلمات فقال إن الله لا ينام ولا ينبغي له أن ينام يخفض القسط ويرفعه يرفع إليه عمل الليل قبل عمل النهار وعمل النهار قبل عمل الليل حجابه نور لو كشفه لأحرقت سبحات وجهه ما انتهى إليه بصره من خلقه رواه مسلم صدق الله وصدق رسوله الكريم ونحن على ذلك من الشاهدين والشاكرين والحمد لله رب العالمين. حاضرین کرام, Honorable Assembly, a sensible person, one with intelligence in this world, is one who will understand the quality of love, mahabba, wud, hub, ishq, because love is a very, very powerful quality, and unfortunately many of us lack it. Despite the so-called knowledge that we possess, which may not even really be knowledge, it might be just information. Despite all of that, we come with animosity, hatred, enmity, and we do not come like the Sahaba with love, with ithar, quality of preference, with sympathy. A sensible person and a real human being is one who is going to love and understand the quality of love. Because one of the names, one of the attributes of Allah is Al-Wadud. Al-Wadud, the loving one. In fact, one of my mashayikh, one of my sheikhs from India, gave me a certain type of zikr. In fact, he didn't give it to me, he gave it to others, but I was there to witness it. That sometimes when a husband and wife can't seem to get along with each other, there's always argument, and there's always quarrel, and the love is lacking. I have seen he have given certain people two of the names of Allah to recite, because Allah himself says, وَلِلَّهِ الْأَسْمَاءُ الْحُسْنَى, and for Allah are the beautiful names. فَدْعُوهُ بِهَا, then call upon Allah through these names. Sometimes you might want peace. Sometimes the heart is disturbed. So you call upon the attribute of salam, ya salam, ya salam, ya salam, and put your hand on your heart. فَدْعُوهُ بِهَا, call Allah by these names. Have the knowledge of these names. It's good for the heart. Ya salam. And what is also good for the heart, I have heard from our elders, is the Suratul Inshirah. Alam nashrah laka sadrak. Have we not opened up thy chest for you, thy bosom for you? In the Quran there is a healing. But we have to learn what the verses are, and where the healing is, and what is a healing, and what is a healing for what. So anyone who has a heart condition should make it a duty after every salat, put your hand on your chest and recite Alam nashrah laka sadrak. And if you don't have a heart condition, then don't wait. It's a good practice. Prevention is better than a cure. So anyhow, Allah is saying, وَلِلَّهِ الْأَسْمَاءُ الْحُسْنَى. For Allah are the beautiful names, sifat and attributes. فَدُعُوهُ بِهَا, call upon Allah by these names. So I have seen one of my mashayikh from India, one of our elders, and subhanallah, what a death he had. His death, how he lived and how he died, it's a great lesson for all of us, but that's another time, another occasion. And I have heard people coming to him, and I have heard them making their complaints and their requests. And he told them to recite 2 names of Allah. Ya Latifu, Ya Wadud. Latif is one name of Allah which means the intellectually refined. That Allah knows the innermost secrets of the heart. So delicate is His knowledge. As well as Latif also has the quality of being kind and benevolent. And Wadud is the loving one. He is the essence of all love. He loves and He puts love, and from Him originates love. So He told them, recite this 1,001 times. And it's so simple, because every tasbih has about 100 beads in it. So 10 of those beads, Ya Latifu Ya Wadud, Ya Latifu Ya Wadud, Ya Latifu Ya Wadud, and blow it in the sugar, and then sweeten your juice and your tea, and through the blessedness, because Allah is blessed and His name is also blessed. Tabarakalladhi fatabarakasmu rabbika. So blessed is the ism of your Rabb. So I was saying that love is a great quality because Allah is Al-Wadud, the loving one. So a sensible person and a really blessed person is one who can love and one who knows how to love. And if a person can't love, he is very wretched and unfortunate, because he will show no love to the creatures on the earth, no love to the people in the Jamaat, only hatred and argument and quarrels, no love to his home, no love to his family, no love to his wife, no love to his children. And many of us, as Muslim men, many of us are guilty of this. We don't love, we don't treat our family right, we don't even treat our wives right, and we snap at them. We may come to the masjid and we may display some type of love. Whether it is fake or real, Allah knows. But at home, we go back with an attitude, and you know the highest rate of divorce in the world is amongst Muslim couples, especially the young ones. The young ones. So loving is a great quality. But I tell you that the greatest quality of the greatest being to whom our love should be focused is none other than Allah. Allah is the one who should be the most beloved of all. The most beloved of all should be Allah. Nabi, our Shafi, our intercessor, our Sayyid, our chief, our ruler, our teacher, our master. Sallallahu alayhi wa sallam wa ala alihi wa sahbihi used to pray, and in that is a lesson for us. He used to say, Allahumma ja'al, ay Allah, make hubbaka, make your love, ahabba ilayya, more beloved to me, min nafsi, than my own self, wa ahli, and then my wife, family and children, than them also too. Make your love more beloved to me, min nafsi, than myself, wa ahli, and my wife and children, wa min al-ma'il barid, and then cold water. Make it more beloved than even cold water. Because the Arabs, they know the value of cold water. That's what goes over there, cold water. refreshing, crystal clear cold water. Make your love more beloved to me than all of these things. But to love someone, you have to know about that person. To love a being, you have to know about that being. And this is the supreme being, Allahu Akbar. Allah is the greatest. That is why the Muazzin says, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. That Allah is the greatest. There is nothing greater than Allah, so leave everything and come for salah, come for falah. Hayya ala salah, hayya ala falah. So Allah is the greatest, He is the supreme being, and we should learn to love Allah more than anything else. One of the ways is to make dua, because if Allah doesn't grant, if Allah doesn't give, Masha Allahu kana, whatever Allah wants is going to happen. Wama lam yasha lam yakun, and whatever He doesn't want will not happen. So we have to beg Allah that, oh Allah, this heart of mine, it's not in my control, it's in your control. Put your love inside. Put your love inside, and when Allah's love comes inside, then there's love for other things as well. To fall in love with someone and to get this attachment with some being, we have to know about that being. And the more we know about that being, the more we're going to fall in love with that being. That is why Allah says in the Holy Quran, fa'alam, from the verb alima, ya'lamu, ilm, knowledge. Fa'alam, get the ilm, get the knowledge, seek it. Of what? What should you know? What ilm should you get? Annahu la ilaha illallah. That there is no ilah except Allah. There is no one except Allah. La mawjuda illallah. There is no real existence except that of Allah. La mahbuba illallah. There is no real love and no one really worthy of our love to that extent except Allah. La ma'buda illallah. There is no one to be worshipped except Allah. La matluba illallah. There is no one desired except Allah. La maqsuda illallah. No God, no objective, no aim except Allah. Fa'alam, get that knowledge. That is why it's good to go through the 99 names of Allah and understand the meanings of these names, these attributes. And in one riwayat of the Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam, he said, Inna lillahi ta'ala tis'an wa tis'ina isman. For Allah ta'ala are 99 names. Man hafizaha, anyone who will memorize these 99 names, dakal al-jannah, he will enter the Jannah. Here is a ticket. Here is a ticket, and we can purchase this ticket right here in this world by learning the 99 names of Allah, keeping it inside of the breast and the bosom, and that's your ticket to Jannah, inshallah. Because the Rasul sallallahu alayhi wasallam never lied. Before nubuwwat and prophethood, and after nubuwwat and prophethood, he never lied. He's a sadiq, the truthful one. Al-Amin, everyone knows that. Friends and enemies, they knew that. So therefore, we have to understand Allah, know about Him, and the more we know about Him, the more ilm and the more knowledge we get about Him, the more we're going to love Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So it is something to study, to research, to go into about Allah, His names, His attributes. Who is Allah? Man hu Allah? Who is Allah? Allahu la ilaha illahu. Allah is that one, that being, besides whom there is no ilah. There is no ilah. And ilah in the Arabic language is that being that you turn to That's the first thought that comes in your head, to turn to that being. That is your ilah, your God, your deity, your ma'bud. That when you're in trouble, that's the first being you turn to. When you need help, you turn to. So Allah is describing for us to know who He is, what He can do, to know more about Him, to get that ilm. فَعْلَمْ أَنَّهُ لَا إِلَهَ إِلَّا اللَّهِ. That the more we know about Him, the more we may fall in love with Him. Allahu la ilaha illahu. Allah is that one, that being. La ilaha illahu. There is no ilah, there is no God, there is no being, there is no one to turn to except in Him. Al-Hayyul Qayyum. He is Al-Hayy. He is the ever-living. He doesn't die. Al-Jins wal-Ins yamutun. The jinn and the ins will die. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is not mortal. Allah is the supreme being. Al-Hayy, the ever-living. The ever-living. Maybe if we feel like we are going out of life, we need to get back some life in us. And Al-Hayy, Ya Hayyu, Ya Hayyu, Ya Hayyu, bring back life to me. Bring back life to my limbs. Inna Allah la kulli shayin qadir. Allah's power over everything. His names, His attributes. Al-Qayyum. Who is Allah? Al-Qayyum, which means the self-subsistent. That He doesn't need anything to remain. The self-subsistent doesn't need food, rizq, sustenance, but He stands by Himself. Al-Mubaligh fil Qiyam. He is Al-Mubaligh fil Qiyam. In standing, in existing, He has gone all heights in that. La ta'khudhuhu sinatun wa la nawm. Sinna, drowsiness doesn't overtake Allah. Wala nawm, no sleep. Sinatun is drowsiness before the deep sleep. La ta'khudhuhu sinatun wala nawm. Neither sleep, neither drowsiness, nor sleep, and slumber overtaketh Allah. He doesn't sleep. Lahu ma fis samawati wa ma fil ard. For Him is whatever is in the heavens and on earth. That is who is Allah. Lahu ma fis samawati wa ma fil ard. For Him is whatever is in the heaven and the earth. Man dhalladhi yashfa'u indahu illa bi'idhnih. Who is there that can intercede for anyone before Allah except with His permission? Who has the himmat, the audacity on the day of Qiyamah? Who can go forth to address Allah, to beg and to intercede for anyone? Illa bi'idhni, except with His permission. And He will grant this permission of intercession for some. Of course, the greatest position will go to our Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam, who is known as Shafi'ul Mudhnibin, the intercessor of the sinners, those who are deserved the Jahannam. Man dhalladhi yashfa'u indahu illa bi'iznih. Ya'lamu ma bayna aydihim wa ma khalfahum. He, Allah, He knows what is in front of you. He knows what is in your breasts. He knows what you conceal. He knows your umur and affairs of the dunya. He knows what is happening right now in the dunya with you. And He knows the amount of the raindrops and the leaves that fall and the oceans and the particles of sand, and what you are doing and what you won't do, and what you think inside and what you don't think. He knows your affairs, the affairs of the dunya. يَعْلَمُ مَا بَيْنَ أَيْدِيهِمْ وَمَا خَلْفَهُمْ. And He knows what is behind, beyond them, the affairs of the akhirah. Where am I? Where would we be in? Jannah or Jahannam? In which list of names are we? Are we in the list of the names of the people of Jahannam or the list of names of the people of the Jannah? How is my stay going to be in the grave? Is it going to be pleasant? Is it going to be unpleasant? Would I be disgraced on the day of Qiyamah in front of everybody? If somebody disgraces us in the masjid in front of everybody, we feel small. Somebody curses us in public, we feel small. On the day of Qiyamah, there is everyone from Adam, ala nabiyina wa alayhi salatu wasalam, to the last man. There is everyone. And there's Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam would be looking on also. If we are disgraced on that day, that's the biggest disgrace. He knows what the affairs of the Akhirat will be, their affairs. يَعْلَمُ مَا بَيْنَ أَيْدِيهِمْ وَمَا خَلْفَهُمْ. He knows all of that. But what do we know? We think we know. Some of us think we know. Allah says, وَلَا يُحِيطُونَ بِشَيْءٍ مِّنْ عِلْمِهِ. And they encompass nothing of His knowledge. They gather nothing of His knowledge. They know nothing of His ilm. إِلَّا بِمَا شَاءَ. Except what He wants them to know through the tongues of the messengers, through the aqwal of the Sahaba, through research, through kalam, through speeches, through books. إِلَّا بِمَا شَاءَ. They only know what He wants them to know. إِلَّا بِمَا شَاءَ. Allah is so great. وَسِيَ كُرْسِيُّهُ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ. His throne, His kursi, extends over the 7 heavens and the 7 earths. If I may put it in a plural, 7 earths. Because in Arabic there is a plural for earth. And do we know what is the size of the heavens? Allahu Akbar. The heavens so massive. The planets, Jupiter, Saturn, Mars. The galaxies. The one of the galaxies closest to us and the one we can see is the Milky Way. And it really looks like milk on a dark, starry night. And we look up and we see that galaxy, the Milky Way. It is said to get from one end of the Milky Way galaxy to the other end, it will take a person 100,000 years traveling at the speed of light, and light travels at 300,000 kilometers per second. 300,000 kilometers per second light travels. It would take a person 100,000 years to traverse from one end of the galaxy Milky Way to the other end, 100,000 years traveling at the speed of light. And that's just one. There's the Andromeda galaxy and so many galaxies known and unknown. And Allah's kursi, Allah's throne is so great, it extends and encompasses all the 7 heavens and the 7 earths. In hadith we are told, مَا السَّمَاوَاتُ السَّبْعُ مَا السَّمَاوَاتُ السَّبْعُ فِي الْكُرْسِي إِلَّا كَسَبْعَةِ دَرَاهِمَ أُلْقِيَتْ فِي تُرْسٍ. That the 7 heavens, and of course the 7 earths also too, they are nothing with respect to the kursi of Allah. Oh, the skies are indeed a great creation. Even Allah mentions about the sky. أَأَنْتُمْ أَشَدُّ خَلْقًا. You think you are great in creation? أَمِ السَّمَاء, or the heavens. But the Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, مَا السَّمَاوَاتُ السَّبْعُ فِي الْكُرْسِيِّ إِلَّا كَسَبْعَةِ دَرَاهِمَ أُلْقِيَتْ فِي تُرْسٍ. That the 7 heavens, including the 7 earths, are nothing in comparison with the kursi of Allah, with the throne of Allah, except like 7 dirhams. And 1 dirham is like about a penny. The 7 heavens are like 7 dirhams. Ulqiyat fi turs, thrown into a big basin, thrown into a shield. Imagine you have a big round shield and you throw 7 coins in that, 7 pennies in that. That's how the 7 skies are. Wasiya, so great is his kursi. Wasiya kursiyuhu samawati wal ard. وَلَا يَؤُودُهُ حِفْظُهُمَا. And the guarding of it, the protection of the heavens and the earth, and for the balance to be kept, sea level, land level, the mountains, the rain, the clouds, the stars to be in orbit in space, for the sun to shine and rise and to set every day, for the moon, for the stars to glitter at night, to protect you and me, the creation of the heavens and the earth, and all that is in between, all that is in and in between. It doesn't tire him out. He doesn't get exhausted that he feels tired. وَلَا يَؤُودُهُ حِفْظُهُمَا. The protection of the heavens and the earth exhausts him not. He doesn't get tired. That is the Allah. وَلَا يَؤُودُهُ حِفْظُهُمَا وَهُوَ الْعَلِيُّ الْعَظِيمُ. And he is the Ali. He is the high one. Al-Ali. Ya Ali. Ya Ali. The great high one. One of the names of Allah. وَهُوَ الْعَلِي. And he is Al-Ali. The noble, lofty, great high one. Al-Azim. The mighty great one. That is Allah. That is Allah. This is the greatest verse in the Holy Quran. Suratul Fatiha is a'zamu suratin fil Quran. From the words of the Nabi in Bukhari Sharif, he said the greatest surah in the Quran is Suratul Fatiha. And the greatest ayat as a single ayat in the Holy Quran is Ayatul Kursi. How powerful it is. So much so that in Hadith of Bukhari Sharif, we are told that the virtues of Ayatul Kursi are so many. One of the virtues, when you recite that at night, when you recite this at night and you go to sleep, then wow, for the whole night there will continue to be a protection from Allah. There will continue to be a shield and a protection from Allah in whatever form He wants to protect you. Whether an angel is going to come and protect you, whatever it is, but the word is Hafidh. La yazala hafidhun min Allah. There will not cease to be a hafiz, a protector and a protection from Allah. For that whole night you will be protected. And the commentators of the Holy Quran mention that not only is your house protected, but wa amina daru jarihi, but your neighbor's house is also protected. Your house and your neighbor's house. And some other commentators go to say even the neighbor's house and is protected according to your intention and how much of conviction and iman you recite it with. You're protected. You're protected. Ayatul Kursi. And with this we understand Allah. It was my intention to go into this one hadith to explain this ayat of Quran, but I don't want to go beyond this because the time is already up. But this should give us just a little insight. Because I remember when we used to roam the streets of Jamaica, way back in the 80s, when we had gone to Jamaica, when Islam was nothing over there and a handful of Muslims in Jamaica, we would go over there, we would walk the streets, and people will see us, ask questions, wanted the dawah, and they would say, who is Allah? Who is this Allah? Who is Allah? We would explain to them, you want to know who is Allah? That you may know Him, that you may love Him, you may recognize Him. Allahu la ilaha illahu. We would give them Ayatul Kursi. Take that you may understand who is Allah, that you may fall in love with Him. So my dear brothers and my dear sisters, this is a great gift for us against shayateen, against the jinnat, against evil, protection for your home, as well as it exposes some of the greatness of Allah. And the more we know about Allah, the more we will cling to Him, and the more we will love Him. And this is what is matloob for us to cling to Allah, know Him and love Him more than anything else in the world. For it is this love that will go with us in the grave and beyond the grave and into the akhirat. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله لي ولكم ولسائر المسلمين.
It's the greatest gift from Allah to be in the last prophet. Summa salatullah wa salamullah ala al-hadi ya Rasulillah. It's the greatest gift from Allah to be in the last prophet. Summa salatullah wa salamullah ala al-hadi ya Rasulillah.